Hi, I'm Catherine, and I'm here to share an accessible bed yoga class with you today. Something you could do first thing in the morning to warm up, start your day, or to wind down at the end of the day. To enjoy today's class, you'll want to have props. I have a couple blankets here, pillows, yoga bolster, a strap, and this is a bonus, the soft ball, if you have it. It isn't necessary, but it's nice to have. We'll start lying on our backs. You'll want to have something underneath your head and neck so that you can relax and get the support you need. I'll give you a moment or two to position yourself. And glide one leg out at a time. And feel for any pulling in the low back or discomfort in the knees. You're welcome to put something underneath your knees to relieve that. I invite you to take a moment to feel the support that you have in the comfort of your bed or lying on the floor. Feeling all those parts of you arrive. And let's come together in the vibrational sound of Om, the universal sound, to affirm that we are beginning the practice of yoga. I invite you to start scanning your body, sensing into your feet, your legs, knees, hips and thighs. Notice how they're feeling today. The whole circumference and weight of the pelvis. And then the length of the spine, all the way from the tip of the pelvis to the base of your skull. Noticing how the belly feels, the low back, your chest and upper back, the shoulders all the way down to the palms of your hands. The whole circumference and weight of your head, and the muscles of your face. Just notice what's true for you right now. We'll begin warming up by pointing your toes and then drawing them back up again. Let's do this a few times. Feeling for sensation in your feet, your ankles. And then splaying your toes out wide, almost like you were stretching your fingers wide. And then imagine you could grip something with your toes, scrunching up your toes. Just try that. Let's try that a few times. Opening toes and scrunching. And then we'll begin to circle ankles. Waking up the lower part of the body that supports us. And then pause for a moment and feel. Glide your feet upward so that you can plant them onto the floor or the bed. And then let the knees float up. Let's start to circle the knees, and at the same time, we're feeling movement in the hips. Plant your feet on the floor and feel your breathing. Let's start to feel some mobilization in your spine. As you breathe in, arch your low back off the floor so there's a bit of space between your low back, the floor, or the bed. And then as you breathe out, press the low back into the floor or bed. Let's try that a few times. Waking up the low back. Almost as if you're yawning the little vertebra apart and back together again. And then come to stillness and notice where your body goes naturally, what might be neutral. Let's do something for the shoulders and the upper back now. Scoot your pelvis away from the screen. Come onto your side. And you might want a pillow for your head and neck here. If you have a bolster handy, support your upper leg on the bolster. And then let's move our shoulders and our arms up or back. As you breathe in, you can raise your arm and start to lower it back, just noticing where you start to feel stretch sensation, and bring it back down again. You could also do this movement with your hand on your shoulder, taking the elbow back and forward. And if you haven't done that, go ahead and put your hand on your shoulder. Let's start to make elbow circles. Forward, up, and back. Feeling for the glide of the shoulder blade on the upper back. Or just notice where sensation draws your attention. And pause for a moment to feel that movement reverberating. And then roll onto your back, and we'll try that action on the other side. You'll cushion the upper leg with a bolster or a couple of stacked pillows to support your neck. You can place the upper arm over the lower. And as you breathe in, raise the arm and explore how far back you want to go to meet stretch sensation. And you can keep your arm, elbow extended, or you can place your hand on your shoulder and begin to make those elbow circles. You can do this with a straight arm, but it puts a little bit more pressure on the shoulder joint. Going in both directions. And then pausing, breathing and feeling the energy you've created in your shoulder. From here, let's just roll onto our stomachs. You can bring a blanket to lower your brow, feeling for length in your neck. And let's just start by curling the toes under, pressing them into the floor or the ground, and engaging the muscles of your hips and your legs and relaxing them. Let's just do that a few times to allow the body to adjust to this position. Bringing awareness to back body. We do everything facing forward. And we do a lot of forward bending in our chairs, when we cook and clean, the activities of daily life. This gives us an opportunity to change our perspective and bring awareness to what's behind us. So then relax the tops of your feet onto the floor or the bed and start to press the front of your pelvis downward. You might even want to hug the muscles here of your hips and start to raise your head and chest off the floor into low cobra. Pause for a moment to feel those muscles starting to wake up and then lower down again. You can turn your head to the side if it's more comfortable. Notice what you feel. And then let's repeat that a few times. Starting to engage from the pelvis, bringing length to low back as best you can. And then energizing the upper back by raising head and chest off the floor. And lowering back down again. You can take a breath between these repetitions. This is such a wonderful counter pose to a lot of the slouching that can creep into your day when you're tired. It wakes you up, it warms you up, helps with posture. Let's make this our last one. Let's relax the low back a bit. Bend your knees. Bring your hands under your brow and just wave your knees from side to side to create a sense of ease in the low back. Then lower your feet to the floor or the bed. Roll onto your side and your back again. Let the knees float up. Placing hands on knees as you breathe out, hug them in close. So now you are pressing low back, massaging your abdominal organs as you breathe out. Let knees fall away. Can you do this simple action in a way that feels good? That's nourishing. Just exploring the way you do it. You might open the knees a little bit wider. Taking them out to the side. With each repetition, rocking the pelvis forward as knees come away and the low back lifts, and tipping it back again. And then ease your feet back onto the floor or the bed. Enjoy taking this time for yourself. Cushion my neck again. Find a strap. And let's explore. Actually, have a strap and also a pillow handy. A pillow or your bolster. Let's lasso the right foot into the strap. And start to reach the foot up towards the sky. Connecting with a stretch sensation. Noticing where you feel it. And being cautious not to strain the knee by pressing too hard. Maybe inviting the leg to come a little closer, bringing awareness to the hamstrings, which actually connect right into the sit bone here. So in stretching the hamstrings and freeing them up a little bit, we actually free up the low back because the hamstring connection goes from outer knee along the thigh, sit bone, the back of the pelvis, feeding right into your low back. Now while we're here, let's play a little bit. Your left foot is planted on the ground. Let's just wave the left knee out to the side and back up again. Each time you open out to the side, explore how you're feeling in the inner thigh, maybe even into the pelvic floor. This is my limit here. I'm going to need a pillow if I want to keep my thigh open like that. So find out what's true for you. And then we're going to slowly start to lower the right leg onto the ground, keeping hold of the strap. So now we're in position of tree pose. That's a pose that gives us the feeling of being grounded. So we can give ourselves that grounded feeling by pulling up on the strap and grounding into the strap with our leg. So we can push into the strap and also press the back of the heel into the floor or the bed. And to emulate tree pose, we can do something with our branches, our arms. We can bring them out to the side, keep the elbows soft and glide it upward. Find that sweet spot that gives you that sense of growth and lifting upward with the upper body. Eyes can be open or closed. What gives you that sense of being rooted? And at the same time, being open. Come out of the pose. Ease your arm back down to your side. You can use your hand to help raise the knee that had been open. Let's bring both knees into the chest now. And just massage the low back by rocking back and forth. We'll try that sequence on the other side. Placing the props in readiness, pillow to the right. Placing the strap in the arch of the left foot. And we'll just start bringing awareness to the back of the leg, from the back of the heel all the way into the sit bone, feeling for that connection of tissue that's continuous over the back of your pelvis and into your low back. If you're not feeling it, feel for bringing the straight leg a little closer to the front of the body. Just notice where you do connect with sensation, which is the language of the body. You may need to ease off a little bit. You might need to soften your knee so that you're not feeling strain at the back of the knee. Let's slowly lower the straight leg. Pressing your foot into the strap and pulling back on the strap. At the same time, you can press your low back, the back of your heel into the floor. And let's wave the right knee out to the side and back up again. Here we're exploring the range of motion that we have in the hip. Once you find that sweet spot, support your hip as you need to. And then we'll explore opening up through the branches, gliding the right arm out to the side. Elbow can be bent or straight. What feels good to your shoulder and your arm right now? How can you move and stretch in a way where you're grounded and rooted and also open? And then relaxing the arm back down at your side so that you can assist your knee coming back up. Glide the straight leg upward. And once again, let's make some circles with the knees so that you're massaging over the back of your pelvis. Let's go in both directions. And easing the feet back to the floor. Checking in how you're feeling. Separate your feet and your knees out to the side. Bring your arms out to the side. Let's start to wave the knees over to the left. Bring them back through center. And then move over to the right. Feeling for sensation in the back of the pelvis, the hip joints, the inner and outer thighs. And then hold on to opposite elbows and make a shelf with your arms above your chest. The next time your knees go toward the left, take your arms right. And a gentle spiraling action now as we feel load going in opposite directions in the upper and lower body. The movements can be small, really small, or they can get a little bit bigger so that your limbs come closer to the bed or the floor. You do this in a way that really feels good. It's nourishing, enlivening. And then relax your arms down at your side. Heel to your feet a little closer together. Sometimes this is a little harder to do when we're lying in a bed because your feet will sink down as you press into the bed. Give it your best shot without straining. Let's push feet into the bed and pick up the pelvis so that it's just hovering a little bit off the ground. And then ease it down again. You can explore this. If it's too much, you can just put that downward pressure through your feet. If you want to continue the exploration, every time you lift, see if you can come up a little bit higher. Strengthening the hamstrings and the hip muscles will actually help us as we walk through our day. Those big muscles of the body are really important to the way we walk and also the ease with which we walk. Okay, if you don't have your bolster nearby, come onto your side and reach for it. So this next pose will be an inversion. That just means bringing your heart above your head. You can use a bolster or you can use a pile of pillows. We warmed up for this. So you're going to push your pelvis up in space so that you can glide the bolster underneath your pelvis. Now to begin with, get comfy. Feel like you've got support. If it's too high, take the time to ease yourself off and use a pillow or two instead. So here we are. We're in an incline. Our heart is a little bit above the head so that the heart can rest. Just feel for that change in perspective. If you'd like to continue the exploration, you can lift one knee up towards your chest and then the other. And you can lasso your feet with a strap. You can see I've got my strap tied in a loop. So that way I can slide the strap into the crease of my elbows so that I can hold my legs up as effortlessly as possible with the strap. So do what is accessible for you today. This may not be accessible, okay? What we're doing when we elevate the legs above the heart is we're relaxing the heart muscle as well, because the return of the blood to the heart flows much easier. This can be very relaxing, or it could be agitating. And if that's the case, soften the knees and find a place for your legs and feet where you can be relaxed in a gentle incline with heart above head. Some of you that might be familiar with inversions could actually turn yourself around. I'm not going to model this right now, but you could turn yourself around so that your sit bones are against the wall or the headboard of your bed. And you could rest your legs up the wall. So let's ease ourselves off the bolster. To do this, start to energize your feet and press into the bed or the floor. And we'll glide the bolster. And just let the knees rest over the bolster. Notice what you feel having the legs be outstretched. Let's do one more thing that can be very delicious for the head and neck. And this is where our little softball will come in. You can cup the back of your neck with one hand, give it support, and rest the back of your head on this softball. Now, if it doesn't feel good, of course, take it out and just put your head on a pillow. Very slowly start to rotate your head in one direction. And notice if you can actually relax the weight of your head into the ball. If you're unable to relax, you may want to change to a pillow or make your movement smaller. You could start out by making little circles with your nose in space. Letting the jaw and the facial muscles relax. And then come to stillness. You can let your head rest here if you like, or you can slowly shift off the ball back onto the pillow. And we'll come back to feeling the state of our being right now. If you like, you can engage the muscles of your feet and ankles and legs. You can squeeze the muscles of your thighs and then relax feet, legs, thighs, and feel that relaxation. You can engage your stomach muscles, drawing them inward, and then relax and let them soften. You can curl your fingers in a fist and engage the muscles of your lower arms, your upper arms, your shoulders, and then soften the fingers. Let them open like a flower. Relax your arms, elbows, shoulders. You can squeeze the muscles of your face and neck, and then soften, relax. I invite you to scan your body once more, traveling awareness with your feet and legs, your thighs and hips. The area, the front, side, and back of your pelvis, belly and the low back, the chest and the upper back, the shoulders and the length of the arms, the soft, open cup of your palms. Feel your body breathing. Moving to that place of calm or peace you may be experiencing. Let your awareness rest there. Tuning into the breath just as it is, very relaxed. Eyes can be open or closed. Knowing you can adjust position as you need to. You start to get chilled, then place a blanket over yourself. You can stay where you are, or you can bend your knees and place your feet on the floor or the bed. You can place one hand over the belly and one hand over the chest and start to deepen your breathing by drawing the breath down into the belly, letting it swell. And then let the breath blossom up to the rib cage. Take your time to encourage the breath through the belly, the rib cage, and then finally blossoming upward through the upper chest. As you start to engage the breath more fully, you're starting to kindle a little bit more wakefulness, relaxed wakefulness through the body to prepare for meditation. Then relax controlling of your breathing. Relax your arms, perhaps along your side. If you like, you can keep them on the belly. And we'll enter a concentration meditation practice using phrases to help us stay with the breath. As you breathe in, you could say, inside, breathing in. As the breath streams out, breathing out. Eyes can be open or closed. And if following the breath doesn't work for you, could focus on sensation. For example, the sensation in your hands. Breathing in, feeling hands. Breathing out, feeling hands. Simply breathing in, breathing out. Feeling hands. Feeling hands. And before we end our practice, I invite you to tune into any inner place of peace you can connect to inside. You can rekindle more active breathing and stay connected to this inner place of peace, taking it with you throughout the day. To end our practice, I invite you to bring your hands to your heart, either in prayer position or open palms across the heart. Let's take a moment to acknowledge the gift of this practice. It's traveled very far over a long time. We acknowledge this gift, wisdom teaching from the Indian subcontinent to our hearts here, resting in bed or on the floor. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I hope you sleep well, or enjoy the rest of your day.